So now I'm going to talk about the second film I saw today because I have a lot to say about this one. This was the much debated 2016 remake of Ghostbusters. It's not even really a remake, it's a reboot. It's just basically the same sort of premise. That's about it. It's by Paul Feig, and he wrote the screenplay with Katie Dippold, who also did The Heat, and I think she's fantastic. So it stars Melissa McCarthy, Kristen Wiig, Kate McKinnon, and Leslie Jones. And there's a bunch of great cameos, not just the like old Ghostbuster cameos, but there's like Andy Garcia, which is always great, and Michael Kenneth Williams is in it. He's always good. But essentially, it's girls who were best friends, and they believed in ghosts and became scientists to try to prove the existence of ghosts. They drifted apart, and then eventually they drift back together at the start of this film because of I don't know if I feel like it's a spoiler. Well, they get back together and sort of mend their friendship throughout the film as they battle ghosts. And there's like various ghosts in various places that I think are kind of fantastic. It's gonna be a little spoilery, I'm sorry. There's like ghosts at a metal show, and it was hilarious. I like it anytime you make fun of metal. Not to make fun of you metal fans, but it's just the way they did it was hilarious. To talk about the Leslie Jones character in the trailers, she's definitely that first trailer. That character looked like it was going to be a terrible stereotype. And I gotta be honest, Leslie Jones is so right that the character's not a stereotype. She's actually like, so the thing that's great about the Ghostbusters, and this is what it was in the original film, is each Ghostbuster really brought something to the team, and they each have their own specialty, and her specialty is historic knowledge of New York. She's basically a like part-time, or not part-time, amateur historian, and has read so much about the city that her knowledge really helps them figure out what the hell's going on. What the hell's going on? Slight spoiler alert, has to do with there's an actual like villain in this. It's not just ghosts at random. There's a villain, and I gotta say that villain is sort of a culmination of this entire discussion in this current wave of feminism about toxic masculinity. Not that he's a toxic. How do I say this? He's not hyper masculine. He has been emasculated, and not just emasculated in like he hates women. He hates everybody, but in ways that I think speak to toxic masculinity and the way that men are taught to feel that they should be treated, or that they feel because everyone should be treated well, but that they feel they're entitled to this idea that we have little geniuses, and when they're not treated like a king or whatever, they act out, and it's sort of taking a lot of the dialogue that you see on MRA sites, and twisting it and turning it into this horrible villain dude. And it was other than the fact that the villain doesn't actually talk about how he hatred of women, a lot of it was eerily similar to the things that you read on MRA sites. It was really kind of fascinating. I liked that they basically took that and what's the word I'm looking for? Blew it up on a big scale, and just said like, this horrible toxic masculinity is killing us. Just thought that was great. And then there's teamwork with the ladies, and them like cheering each other, and it's like being on a sports team with a bunch of girls, where they're always like, yeah, let's do it, ladies, and that was nice. And like, there's a couple of moments where they really they show them all becoming really good friends, and there's just little moments of this like female bonding that just made me get a little teary-eyed. And then I kept thinking, like, if I had seen this, if I was like an 8-year-old or a 9-year-old or whatever, or 10, and going to see this, I would be like running around my parents' house pretending to be a Ghostbuster in a way that I never did when I saw the Ghostbusters as a kid, the original Ghostbusters. Um, so I find that really delightful, um, because I'm just thinking about all those girls that are gonna watch it and just have these great characters for them, and I think it's important. That's how I felt with the new Star Wars, where I was like, oh my god, if I was 8 and I saw this, I would be freaking out, and I'm freaking out at 30, but like the 8-year-old freak out is a totally different sort of thing, and it's wonderful to have. This film also does not have any awful, like, pestering, like, well, actually, they do kind of have. So in the original one, the Bill Murray is sort of pestering Sigourney Weaver throughout the film, and when you watch it now, it's a little cringy. And they sort of play on that with the way Kristen Wiig talks to Chris Hemsworth, but they make it awkward and they make it clear that it's like inappropriate, but and an awkward inappropriate in this, whereas in the other one it's just kind of a little grody. There's no male gaze in this film. There's no there's just it's just like a good time without any women feeling like they aren't real women, and it's so shocking to see. Actually, both these films that I watched today, if you watched my early review of Where the Boys Are, felt like a bunch of real women, which was kind of wonderful to see, because there's so many films out there with women, that characters that are just god awful, and it's hard to watch, and it's just so fun to watch a film, and want to be one of them, and want to be friends with all of them, and like bus ghosts. I don't know. I just really, really enjoyed it. It's sort of like, I, this is the sort of feeling I wish that I felt when I watched Marvel films, but I never do. Except when I watch Agent Carter, and I watch Agent Carter, and I'm like, yes! And that's how this film made me feel, and I think that's just really important. So, you should go see it. That's basically what I'm saying. And I really enjoyed it. I might even go see it again. I don't know. My audience was like, there's only like 10 people. It was kind of sad. Oh, stay all the way through the credits. Like, all the way through the credits. Everybody left before the end credits, and there's like an important thing at the end of the credits that, in this like post Marvel end credit stinger world, you should stay through the end of the credits for anything that may or may not end up being a franchise. Come on. And it's not even a post Marvel one, because let me remind you of X2, which was like 10 years ago or 13 years ago. When the hell X2 came out? 2000. I was in college. That had a stinger in it. Like, stay for the stinger, okay? Stay for the stinger. Lastly, and I know a lot of the reviews are talking about this, Kate McKinnon is on like another level of awesome. Like a whole nother level of awesome. I like just want her to be like in commercials and like sell me chicken, and like just as her character. Like, I want her character to be everywhere all the time. She's great. She's my favorite thing. Anyways, you should go see this movie. It was great. I really enjoyed it. There's some nice callbacks to the original two films. So if you're familiar with them, you'll see some things and be like, I see what you did there. But it doesn't follow any of the storylines of the other ones enough to make it feel like, what was the point? It really feels fresh and funny. God, it was funny. I thought it was hilarious. There are a lot of jokes that are kind of subtle. And like, I was just sitting there laughing my ass off through the whole film, and there was like no one else laughing, and I was a little upset. I need to find an audience that will laugh at this film with me, because I enjoyed it. And I laughed just like when I saw The Heat, and I laughed because apparently me and Katie Dippold have a very similar sense of humor. So this was Paul Feig's Ghostbusters, just opened today. You should definitely go see it. Hopefully it didn't spoil too much in this review. I'm looking forward to seeing angry men leave comments. If you do, I got one of these for you. If you don't, and you're just watching this and you're not going to leave angry comments, I'm really sorry. I just flipped you off. But I feel that I need to be preemptive with the flipping off. of trolls, because the last time I talked about a movie from the 80s that dudes love, and I talked about how much I hated it, 2 years later, I still get angry dude comments on that video. So I'm prepared for your angry dude comments. I'm prepared. Anyways, go see Paul Feig's Ghostbusters. It's fantastic.